Hey guys, so this is a video I've been thinking about making for quite a while, and considering it's getting more and more common, I think it's about time. My FAQs, frequently asked questions. I'm sure you know what FAQ is. If you don't, it's questions that I keep getting asked over and over again, and honestly I'm getting bored of typing the same answer over and over and over again. Let's get some of these out of the way, shall we? Right, number one, is that a 125? I get that question a lot on and off of YouTube. They see my bike and they instantly think 125. I can understand why they think that, because the KTM RC390 is the same frame. The only difference between the 125 and the 390 is the engine. Everything else is identical, and the colour scheme. And the fact that one says 125 and the other one says 390. But apparently people can't read. Yes, obviously mine is the RC390 because it will easily do over 100 miles an hour and it just sounds a lot beefier. Even with the stock exhaust, it sounded beefier. The 125 you can't hear. It's almost completely silent. It might as well be an electric motorcycle with the stock exhaust. I've heard people putting aftermarket exhausts on it and it does sound good, but not quite as loud or as beefy as the 390. I have to say this question does bug me a little, because it shouldn't annoy me, but it really does. It's like me and my mate, who's got the RC390, went to a bike meet, and as we pulled up, we both turned the bikes off and heard someone go, "Oh, when I was 17, I'd have loved to have a 125 like those." Like those. Bear in mind, I had an exhaust with a hole that big in the end of it, and I did have stickers that say 390. It just annoys me quite a bit, and it really shouldn't, but it does. Yeah, long story short, no, it's not a 125, it's the 390 version. Well, technically it's like 373cc or something like that, but they decided 390 sounds better. Right, on to question number two. What exhaust is that? Now, some of my newer subscribers, because I've noticed my subscriber count has gone up a lot in the last couple of weeks. So if you haven't watched back through the old videos, my exhaust is made by Black Widow, and no, you can't buy one for this bike. No, they didn't do me a favour and make one specifically for me. I'm not at that sort of level in YouTube. Basically, it's a full system designed for the Duke 200. At the point I was looking for this exhaust, they only made exhausts for the Duke 200, no other KTMs. So I thought, fuck it, I'll buy one and I'll modify it to fit. Basically, I've got the stock exhaust and the Black Widow exhaust, chopped the end off the mid pipe and chopped the end off the exhaust from the stock exhaust, obviously, and welded the stock end onto the Black Widow pipe, which then meant it would actually fit, because without that it wouldn't fit. The pipe, the mid pipe was too small. It didn't quite fit over properly. It wasn't going to work, which is why it probably sounds like a little bit unhealthy, because it's designed to silence a 200cc bike and I'm putting 390 through it. Sounds good though. The exhaust is a Black Widow full system exhaust, and unfortunately, as I'm recording this, you can't buy one for this model. If you want it, you'll have to buy one for another KTM, specifically the Duke, because they have the same frame, and modify it to fit your RC. Which brings me on to question 3. Does your exhaust have a baffle? Yes. And no, it's not in. Obviously, to make the exhaust road legal, they have to sell it with a baffle, but it can be removed. So I removed it. Although the baffle is in the bike, under the seat, not the exhaust. But there is a baffle there, just not where it should legally be. And by the way, to get it out, it's one bolt. Just say you've got the end of the exhaust there, there's a bolt about here, just there, just at the bottom of it. Just put an Allen key in it, unscrew it, pull it down, pull the baffle out, done. Putting it back in's tricky, because it is a circle and there's nothing to stop it turning as you're putting the baffle in. So the baffle can go at an angle, the bolt won't quite connect properly. You have to keep faffing about and moving it around, but it can be done. But yes, it does come with a baffle, but no, I'm not using one. Right, question 4. What helmet is that? Now for that I have 2 answers. I've got this, which is an AGV AX8 Evo Naked, with obviously a dark smoke visor. I've only got 2 visors for this, clear and dark smoke, because they're the only 2 they make. It's more of a touring helmet, but it is brilliant for vlogging. Because I don't know if you can see in there, well you can't really, but there's a lot of empty space at the end of it here, which means you've got a perfect position for a microphone, and this little flap keeps the air from coming in, so it reduces wind noise and the microphone isn't too close to you, so it doesn't sound awful. If you're looking at buying one, they're about £350. Now the other helmet is a Shoei XR1000. Wait, shut up. So I was rendering a video. Yeah, which has obviously got a few stickers on it. And I've got 6 visors for this helmet. Obviously I've got the gold one, which you can see now. There's gold, clear, dark smoke, mirror, blue and iridium. You can get more, but those are just the ones I've got. I don't know why I've got so many. I really don't. This helmet isn't exactly designed for having a microphone put in it. As you can see, there's not much space at the bottom of there. So my microphone is just inside the cheek pad. But it's very windy. But it is a decent helmet, and well, I like the mirrored visors. They just look so fucking cool. Yes, so those are the helmets I'm using. AGV AX8 Evo Naked and a Shoei XR1000. Question 5. What leathers do you have? Or what's the leathers you're wearing? Or variations of that. I would show them to you now, but they're large. No, they're not large, they're big. And I can't really fit them on the screen in one go, so at some point I am going to do a video on what gear do I use and all of that stuff. But for now, all you need to know is they're Dainese Laguna Seca 2-piece leathers, which means the jacket and the trousers can be connected by a zip, but they can also be unzipped, so you can just have the trousers on. Which I prefer that over a 1-piece. Just because a 1-piece, you've always got to have the jacket either dangling around your legs or on, and if it's really hot, that's uncomfortable. So the 2-piece, you can go out, take the jacket off, and it's fine. Also makes it a lot easier to use the toilet. Don't want to do that in a 1-piece. But like I said, at some point I am going to do a video on all the gear I use. Another one I've started getting occasionally is what do I use to edit my videos. That is Sony Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 13. Yeah, 13. It's about 50 quid for the software, but I got the package where I got the video editing stuff and like 2 audio editing softwares as well. Brilliant piece of software, I love it. Takes a while to get used to it, but the basic editing techniques that you use are really simple to get used to using. The more complicated stuff obviously is a lot more complicated, but it's easy to learn. There's tutorials everywhere, so I would recommend getting that software if you want to start doing stuff. And don't come to me and ask me how to do everything. There are tutorials, there's a help section, there's people out there that know more than I do about this. And number 7, what camera do you use? These. Drift Ghost S. I've got 2 of them. So I've got one on the helmet, I can have one looking back at me, I can have one looking forward from the side of the bike, like next to the wheel, and I can have one looking over the exhaust. Obviously I can't have all of those options at the same time. But again, brilliant cameras. They've got the adjustable lens on it, Obviously got the screen, they've got simple to use controls, and they're water resistant. Not waterproof, water resistant. Hopefully that should answer some of the more frequently asked questions I keep getting, and at least for a couple of weeks I should stop having to answer those questions. So thank you for watching. Vlogtober will continue. This is obviously part of the Vlogtober series. There will be a normal Vlogtober vlog tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.